Vegas doesn't want customers anymore, they want hostages. And in this video, we're going to go over something called captive pricing and how it's destroying not just Vegas, but vacation spots across the country. So hello and welcome back to NLLV, a channel that's based in Vegas, talking about the economy. We dive deeper into Vegas specifics and the broader economy at whole. And today's video, we're going to be talking about captive audience pricing and how it has kind of captivated Vegas in a way that maximizes max profits for casino corporations that are worth billions and billions of dollars, and how it destroys your experience while you're here. See, because for decades and decades, Vegas was a simple, open market, capitalistic type of town. Casinos might have been run by the mafia, but they weren't owned in whole by one particular mafia family. But as time went on and ownership started to transfer to corporations, starting with Howard Hughes in the 70s and the 80s, and finally with Circus Enterprises, which was one of the first publicly traded companies in Vegas history, things started to change. And before you knew it, there was less choice, less selection on the Las Vegas Strip. What the heck? What are these people doing? Wow. Did you guys see that? That's not the way to cross the street in Vegas. That's a good way to nearly get yourself killed. And over time, these corporations started to grow. Circus Enterprises became Mandalay Bay Resorts, and Mandalay Bay Resorts became MGM Resorts International. And then you had Caesars, which kept growing like cancers, just spreading throughout the city, where less and less you had choice and more you just had corporations who could charge whatever the heck they wanted. And before you knew it, one of the most capitalistic cities in the world became less of a capitalism and more of a, you're gonna pay whatever we want because you ain't got no other choice. So there's zero doubt about it. When you're in Vegas, you're no longer just a tourist to these properties. You're not a guest. You've actually become a hostage, forced to pay whatever they want. And it's not just this town either. Down in Florida, Walt Disney built a literal city with actual representatives and tax codes. Also, they could keep you on property as long as they could and charge whatever they wanted. I've never been on a cruise, but I gotta kind of imagine that you're gonna pay whatever price they want if it doesn't have an open bar. I mean, what are you gonna do? Swim to shore to get a better deal? And let's not even get started on the costs of things at venues like sporting events or concerts or convention centers. Out here in Vegas, you're going to pay $30 or $25, I think it is, for a single Bud Light at T-Mobile Arena or at Allegiant Stadium. It's just bonkers. Nobody can afford to live the life anymore, and if you do afford to live it for a brief period, you feel pretty bad about yourself having to pay those highway ransom prices. But that in and of itself is captive audience pricing. It's that same captive audience pricing that keeps driving the prices of shares of these companies up, because by charging you more when you go on vacation somewhere where you don't have an easy exit and everything can be stacked against you, because that's what the prevailing market price is for small items like sodas, beers, snacks, or food, then it means that you're going to pay it, or you're not going to come. And if you don't come, somebody will come, because somebody's always doing better than you in the economy. And that's just the sad truth about the fact. And I hate to break it to you, Jack. I don't want to break your heart, Sally, but this is what the NASDAQ looks like. This is what the S&P 500 looks like. This is what the Dow Jones Industrial looks like. And we got studies that show, as I said in my video the other day, it's the AAA class, the people who are into artificial intelligence, have assets, or are affluent. A lot of you guys are like, I don't got no assets. And I'm like, listen to me, Eddie, carefully. You can have an asset. It can be called your education, and your brain is your best asset. For me, I turn that into trading. You see, this is my trade going up. You make money when it goes up. You make money when it goes down. I think my 2 days combined were over $900. Didn't trade today, Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. God bless you. I mean that sincerely. And I got a student doing the same thing. It's it's not hard. Can you do pattern recognition? Can you understand that when Trump says something, it goes up, and he says other stuff, he's like, all right, folks, Trump brand gold. It replaces regular gold, and gold pumps and the market pumps. You guys want to do that? Then go to my comments, 1K a day DIY. Click the link, code 22. You get it for 90% off for the first few people watching, and you got to do it soon, because I got to increase the price, because that student is now justifying the 90% off price. Such a little investment, and now he's making some money. Because if you don't make that money, it's going to be the whole entire system coming down on you when you come to these places, because now we truly have captive audience pricing. Let's talk about those prices right now. We're going to jump into the Walgreens and the Target to show you this stuff. And so yeah, inside of Walgreens, we're going to show you the better prices. Because in the casinos, they're ridiculous. Let's transport our way through. Zap. Right, I mean, it's a world where a single Miller Lite costs $5.99. Bud Light is $6 for a single beer. Still better than Allegiant, where it's going to cost you a better part of $25. Captive pricing, but you can buy this with food stamps and SNAP benefits. These are 3 for $5 if you are in any town, not Vegas Strip, USA. And some things are just silly. You better hope you don't get any kind of a flu or headache in Vegas, because you can end up spending $25 for something as simple as Advil. And realistically, that is just the first level of captive pricing. Let's magically transport ourselves into a major Las Vegas casino to take a look at what this looks like. And if you're enjoying this segment of the video, tell me in the comments below, because we might just do some investigative deep dives. 1, 2, 3, and zap. See what things cost here. I don't know. Hi. There's no prices on anything? How much are the... $10? 10, okay. What about the bottles of water?
$6.49, $5.49.
Six. Okay. $8 for this one? Okay, so $8 for the big Fiji, $6.99 over here. And what about the sodas? Sorry. $6.09. $6.09. So that's tier level 2. It gets worse as you go in. I've seen water bottles for $15 by poker rooms, because they know the poker players will just want to get back to the game. Captive audience pricing, right? So if you want to better understand what's at play here, all you have to do is take a look at the map of the Las Vegas Strip. And when I was doing my research on Vici properties, I found this map, which is everything that Vici owns that a property pays rent to. Another interesting map is this one here. It shows the ownership that's split up between MGM Resorts International, Caesars International, with outliers such as Bally's, who's building their dream that'll never happen over at the Athletic Stadium. The Wynn, of course, the Encore and Resorts World. That map also has Venetian and Palazzo. But one thing's for certain, only a few companies own all of this stuff, so only a few companies really dictate the pricing. And because only a few casinos dictate the pricing, you're going to pay what they want. And if you try to get off the Strip, it's only going to cost you more and more. Companies like Uber and Lyft have surge pricing. You're going to have to go off the beaten path. It takes time to go off the Strip. You're missing your vacation time. But if you ever do that, you are going to see some cool stuff in Vegas and get to meet locals like me. And we are very nice people, and no, we don't live in hotels, and we're not all professional gamblers. So what's the answer? What are some practical, actionable steps you can take? Well, first step you can take is always going to be the step that helps you out most in life and everything. Make more money. I don't care what you do. Make a skill habit. Start robbing banks. Probably bad advice. Don't listen to that advice. That was fake news. Take my course, 90% off. Be one of the first few. Find it in the comments below. Bring more money to Vegas. It offsets the costs. I know you're like, that's against my principles. All right, Sally, I get it's against your principles, but what are you going to do? Scream at the rain when it's raining? You think it's going to stop? It ain't going to stop. So the first step might be a problem for a lot of you guys, and that's simple. Just be prepared when you come to town. Do things in advance for once in your life. Stop being spontaneous. First thing you're going to want to do when you book your hotel room is locate the closest CVS or Walgreens to you, or find an ABC store. But find out where you can get stuff for less money. That's simple, right? You like simple. I like simple. Second thing is to show up at those places when you first get situated. Most of the time, you're going to have like an early check-in. Go to those places and bring a backpack. I have a big one. You guys have seen it in this video. And fill up with those things. Bottles of water, snacks, chicharrones, as my wife who's from the Philippines says. I think they say the same thing in Mexico too. Find those things, buy them on day one, bring them to your room. Next up is something that old people like me will understand if you grew up with the early interwebs. It's called Groupon. I know it sounds bizarre, but go on Groupon. You'll find stuff that's not too far from the Strip on crazy deals. Buy the Groupon. Go off the Strip. See some culture, you filthy animal. And then you get to experience not just the Strip, but off the Strip for a little bit. And if you do want to eat on the Strip, like go to Open Table. Open Table often has menus that are crowdsourced. Find out the prices of stuff beforehand, budget appropriately, do that dream meal if you're a foodie on the Strip, but don't complain about it when it costs a lot of money. It's like the old tale of the frog and the scorpion, and the frog swallows up the scorpion, and the scorpion says, "You knew what I was when you picked me up." I think I got that story wrong. Tell me in the comments below how that one goes. And then for things like gaming, if you don't want to be spending a huge amount of money, I want you to use some common sense. I know that's hard, but consider the price of the room per night and think the higher that number is, the more you're going to spend on minimums at tables and slot machines and these kinds of things. I mean, like the Stratosphere is going to have less impact on your wallet than gaming at Resorts World, and they're not too far apart. Even better, skip all those North End properties entirely because they have some high limits because they're out there trying to get as much money as they can, and just go downtown where they have 3-2 blackjack for $5 a hand at several places. And no matter how much one of these properties tries to market to you, like the liar Bill Hornbuckle who talks about how they have $5 roulette wheels, it's 000. So always watch that. Go watch the 000 because that's the dumbest game you can play in Vegas, and you may not even know. And if you were doing it and you knew, you're not ignorant, you're just dumb. We can always help you if you're ignorant. We can cure that. We can't cure stupid. But you know what the worst thing about all this is that I see people in the comments of these videos of this channel all the time, and they're all about the same thing. They're like, I'm never coming back to Vegas. They lost me as a customer forever. And if I just mocked you because you've made those comments, I just got one ask. I'm sorry. Can we still be Facebook friends, please? And before you rage quit me, let's talk some sense into those people, because I've been saying it the entire video. Things are not changing, Billy. If you don't like what's happening now in Vegas, you might as well lock yourself in your house and hide under a pile of coats in the back room, because it's the same thing everywhere else. It doesn't matter if you're in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, going to a Calgary Flames game, or if you're in New York City just trying to navigate in Times Square. You're still getting clipped for these types of prices, and that is because Wall Street is winning. Because I do want you to come into Vegas, I just don't want you guys to feel the sticker shock. So come here, enjoy yourselves, have a good time, make more money, enjoy life, but just know it was what it was when you picked it up, and you make your choices that way. But don't miss out on life, please, on account of everything is more expensive. Just figure out ways to make more money. My name is Steven. If you like this video, you're going to love my course, 1K a day. Find the link in the comment below. Get a skill, be better. Until the next time we talk, I'll see you later.